let's get into the software now. If you haven't seen iOS 4, this is obviously supporting it, and we can put in a normal password here, but you can actually also use a more difficult password, such as typing in words or something like that. First thing we'll go into is, the folders. They comes with a normal utilities folder already built in for you, and they're pretty basic. They're actually pretty nice, but nothing too special. We'll obviously make our icons wiggle here. We'll drag our settings one right on top, and it goes right into the folder. When you open up the folder, it gives you all the different apps inside, and you can also rename it right here on top. It says utilities, and you can go and retype that anything you want and change that around. Now we'll open this back up, take settings, pull right back out. Now it's no longer in the folder. The naming is okay, but if you put something like, if you put books and then you put in gallery together, it'll title it books. So it's not exactly straight on with its naming, but it does do a good job, and you obviously can name it whatever you want. The multitasking is actually pretty nice on here. Oh, by the way, if you didn't notice, there's obviously the new backgrounds. You can change those to whatever you'd like. We're going to go in here and show you multitasking though. The one thing I didn't like about it is it works really well, and I love how they implemented it, but some stuff doesn't exactly work as it would hopefully be. Like if we open up here, we're inside a game. So we're just going to go fishing. We're just going to do practice. We're just going to start something up here. So we're fishing. We're in the middle of a game. Notice how fast it was loading. It's a good amount faster than 3GS. So we're inside the game. Now say you got a text message. Before, you would automatically lose your game. So you double tap here. Now you can click over here to messages. We'll jump right out. We'll go into messages and stuff like that. But the bad thing is when we go back, normally you would go back to the game and you'd be right where you left off, which is how the fast app switching is supposed to work. Unfortunately, if developers don't add that to their application, it won't work. So I'm back here at the beginning of the app. I was able to switch to it faster. I didn't have to go to the home screen, which gives a better all-around experience. But because the developer didn't put it in, it won't take you back to where you were in the game. And the downside of this, besides that in general, is that a lot of the older games, developers probably won't go back and put those in just to make it work on the iOS 4. Okay, now I'm going to show you the camera. I was really impressed by the camera. What we're going to do is we're just going to open it up here, and it loads much faster than the old 3GS would. So we're going to just show around here, and all we're going to do is we're going to take a picture. It's very fast compared to the 3GS. Doing a side-by-side test, it's significantly faster. Obviously up here we have flash. We can do on, off, or auto. We'll just put that back on auto here. You also now, when you tap the screen, it brings up some extra controls, such as this zoom feature on the bottom. This is actually allowing you to do a digital zoom. If you can see that little line there. Right there allows you to zoom in. Obviously it is digital zoom, so the quality isn't quite as good as say an optical zoom would be, but that's a little bit hard to do on a camera or on a phone. So we're gonna put the picture of the box there. We're gonna zoom in all the way, and I know you can't see that too much on screen, but it is a little bit pixelated compared to how it should be. But you can see we are zoomed in quite a good amount. So the 5x digital zoom is actually really quite nice. Obviously you still have the tap to focus, tap to focus there, wherever you want, so that's very nice. We also have the front facing Vga camera. You can just tap with this switch, it'll pull around right there to the other facing camera. Tap and it'll just switch you right back. So that's very nice. Obviously we have landscape mode. All 6 of the icons, 5 icons will switch for you, and you can obviously tap that up and go right here to video camera. The video is also 720p, so it's actually full HD video, but mind you, this is not 20 frames a second or 25 frames a second like a lot of the phones out there. This is actually full 30 frames a second HD video, so that is very nice. And a lot of the video from the iPhone is very clear and it doesn't stutter at all, so the video is very nice. Next up we have some additions to Mail, which is obviously in the iOS 4 off software. And we obviously have all of our inboxes right on top instead of having them. You can't really see these anymore on here. Slightly see it there, but not really. Nope, you can't really see them. But what we have on top is all the inboxes, and then below that your accounts. So if you wanted to see a specific folder in your account, then you can just go to the account button below. But all of your inbox will now be stored above, and then you have an all inbox button included. And the inboxes also have, or not inboxes in general, but all of them have threaded messaging. So it's very, very nice, especially if you're trying to keep track of long conversations. It'll add all those messages together so you can just go through and see all the past ones. We have iBooks on here, which is pretty standard. It's not anything special. It's the exact same experience as on the iPad, just smaller. So it's not too different, but we do allow, it does allow for syncing your bookmarks, notes, and stuff like that with your, like, say, your iPad edition. So you are able to jump between devices while keeping everything in check. That's about all the new features on here. The battery life so far has actually been really great. This hasn't been charged yet, and if you can see up there, it's not full, but it's nearly full, and we've been using this for a solid, probably coming up on, it's been about 10 hours so far, and we still have most of the battery left, and that's been pretty heavy usage. What we have now, we're going to show you something with calls, okay? Something that we kind of noticed that doesn't make sense too much. What we're going to do is we're going to jump into phone call here, and we're just going to call Andy O'Hare. We're just going to add this up. We're going to call this line, okay? So it's going to go through. Okay, so they picked up on the other side. Now, what we're going to do here, I want you to notice, if you can see, it's kind of hard to see on camera here, but if you notice in the upper left-hand corner, we have full bars. Okay, full bars right here on at&t. Now I'm going to hold it right here in my left hand. I'm right-handed, and a lot of people would hold it in their left hand. Now watch what happens to those bars. There goes 1. There goes 2, 3. Now we're only down to 2 bars, just by covering that corner. So I don't know if this is going to be a long-term thing or not, but just by covering it, it just drops down to 2 bars. So in some areas, that might be enough to drop your call completely. So just some minor things. In general, this is a great phone. I'm really impressed with it. It's much step up from the 3GS. I love having places in here with the geotagging. You can click on the location and see all the photos from, wherever you took them. Obviously it has faces, events, and everything like that pulled in from iPhoto if you're a Mac user. So I think it's a great phone. It's very nice, works really well. The slits here that are connecting this side is actually uses the GPS antenna, and this side all around here is your wireless antenna. So if you connect these, that's what was happening to the calls. So it's not my favorite. That's obviously a bad thing, but if you're going to use like the Apple bumpers, then you'll be fine. It won't actually happen to you. So other than that, there's much less drop calls, much improved performance. iOS 4 runs great on here. 720 video. The cameras are insane. FaceTime calling, we've only tried it a couple of times now, but it's been good. With a strong Wi-Fi signal, you won't drop a call. You won't drop a FaceTime call. It works extremely well. The FaceTime calls also don't take away from your AT&T minutes, so if you're a new contract and you only have a certain amount, then you're still covered. That'll all be on Wi-Fi only, so you should be good. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and post them in the comments. I'll get back to you when I can. This is the iPhone 4. Thanks a lot, guys.